NATO Safix is a player who I think has been severely underrated during his time in the scene. He never really got a chance on a decent team. I guess Sprout is probably the best chance he's had so far. I don't know if he is going to be joining the team or anything for the moment. I believe he is just a stand-in, but I'll be looking forward to seeing him facing off against Smuya, of course, who most people, I'd say, would consider the best player in the UK. He definitely has a lot of skill with that op, and it should be a fun battle, hopefully, to watch.
Yeah, not much competition in the UK. Not too hard to be the best player, but there you go. He's been really good so far, to be fair to him. That's maybe understating him a little bit. He has been on point, and he will look to keep that up. It will also be interesting to see if Surreal picks up the AWP. I think sometimes he will want to go for that. It'll be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out between those two. But here we go into the pistol. Interestingly enough, Schmidty has gone for a CZ and a nade. No defuse kit on the CT side. A couple of smokes and flashes for EPSILON. They're just going to group up around A. This is a fairly basic play. Just go for the smokes. Almost certainly get the bomb down because only Innocent is here. It's looking fairly decent for EPSILON as the smokes go out and they line up the push.
Yeah, let's see if Spirit are going to be able to hold this one down. Likely just going to be forced into a retake, but with no CT smoke, it does give a chance for things to get done. Dennis and Innocent are able to find one each. It will be traded back by Smuya. The damage has also been taken by a couple of these players on the EPSILON side, so they're not looking the healthiest, and as they try to push down CT spawn, it won't work in their favour. Speedy with the CZ, only on the Smuya now, as he is going to be low HP and he will be taken down. That allows the Spro side to claim themselves that opening pistol.
Yeah, I think the positive of going for that A push is you're almost guaranteed the bomb plant at the very least. That does come through, but then Sprouts were quite well set up for the retake. Even though Smuya got a kill, not really gaining enough ground with the frags. So Sprout managed to get that initial pistol, which I think would have been quite important for them. I think as it was pointed out on the desk, EPSILON managed to beat Sprout in a best-of-1 just the other day, 16-6 on Inferno. So getting that strong start will certainly sort of get that out of your mind, get off to a good start, make sure that doesn't happen again. We're going to see the clocks just run out towards mid, well, mainly P250s. NATO's going to get the tag, and Dennis will follow up for the frag. Just going to see the P250s try and find anything, but Cosmine is the only player who's found a frag so far. Pretty much to be expected, but EPSILON will be focused on the upcoming gun round, where they can put pressure on early.
Yeah, their goal for this one was just a couple of kills, maybe a bomb plant. Not looking likely on the bomb plant, but maybe another kill could be found, especially with Dennis being so low on HP, but it's not going to be Dennis taking the challenge. Currently, Crystal from behind does the damage, eventually finishes off Surreal, and it will be Sprout claiming that round with still 4 players alive, so starting to build themselves up a bit of bank, but now they'll be up against the rifles. Let's see if they decide to upgrade, or will they continue on with the SMGs? One M4 at least will be dropped over to NATO Safix. So a couple rifles to back up these SMGs. Let's see what's going to be done. On the other hand, EPSILON, their buy, it is going to be coming out, but it's of course not flawless. Don't have the money for all that utility perhaps, but they do have a decent amount to work with. And it looks like right now they are just going to focus towards middle, which is a very key position on this map to allow the T's to kind of work that default. But Dennis, he takes down Surreal early on. An advantage now in favour of the mostly German side. But they continue to face, actually, interestingly enough. There is even Dennis pushing right up mid. Will eventually drop to Robin. Or rather, actually, that was to Smuya. Robin was able to connect a lot of damage towards the player in window also. So it's starting to look pretty good now for EPSILON. But with 3 players stuck up behind his box and Crystal on the flank, it's looking a little bit desperate now as Robin eventually trades that one out. But barely survives on only 2 points of HP.
Both players very low, and Innocent just needs the one shot. Indeed, he will find it with the MP9. So Robin has 2 HP. He has less health than the amount of opponents he has to try and take down. He's going to try and go back towards the B side of the map. Could be a good call, and it's also worth pointing out, Sprout have a couple of players low on health as well. NATO would certainly go down from just 1 shot. Innocent would probably require 2. So it's all really about who can get the drop on the opponents. That nade from Robin could be very useful as well. If he were to get onto the B site and get the bomb down, if that nade was well timed, that could be a free frag. So still chances for Robin, but the Swede is still got a very long way to go, and it has to start with this kill on towards NATO.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. NATO, of course, he's not really looking so healthy either, 22 points of HP, but he does have the advantage of just being able to post up and hold an angle. Robin is going to have so many different positions to check. If he doesn't guess correctly, then he's likely going to fall, and making his way onto the bomb site now. 2 players in position. We shouldn't see a bomb plant even as NATO Safix does just go ahead and shut that one down. So Sprout, even keeping 3 SMGs into that round, they will be able to take it in the end. They do so with 3 players alive, and they also get 2 AKs out of it, so a really good first gun round by the Sprout side. EPSILON now. Their economy once again has been reset, but with money bonus beginning to build up, maybe an op can come out in the future now in the upcoming round. Let's see if that's going to happen. Smoothie, I believe, should have enough. But into this one, just pistols and a bit of utilities. So looking for perhaps the bomb plant over towards B, it seems, as they do group of 4 players in the apartments. Just Smoothie towards middle on his own. No real success to be found so far, as no damage has actually been exchanged between either team. But Crystal, look how aggressive he's getting. This could maybe work against them. Surreal finds the opening kill with the CZ, and now an M4 is going to be handed over. Surreal, just about hanging on to life at the moment, will drop that down, but a flash on short allows me to have the flank, but he doesn't connect the shots. And once again now it's a 4-on-4. The bomb should at least be planted, so small success has been found, and Robin through the smoke takes down Dennis, and now Sprout working with a man disadvantage and with low HP on Speedy going into this retake. This is going to be difficult.
Couple of players very low on health on both sides, and Innocent going to find a quick kill on towards T-Sac. It's going to be Spiddy just holding off, and Cosmin goes for the peek. That allows Spiddy the frag. It's all up to Robin back towards the bench, and he is going to be taken down. Despite looking decent there for EPSILON, doesn't really work for them in terms of having a chance to win the round. Innocent got plenty of time for the defuse, and a really strong retake coming out from Sprout there. Considering they were in a 3v4, not losing a single player is very well done. And there we go, Smooya picks up that AWP straight away. He's going to be hungry to get going with that one. He might be a bit frustrated that he didn't get that kill in the previous round. As you were saying, he probably should have got that frag from short. Let's see if he can make up for it now with the AWP.
Yeah, right now, they will be just making their way once again towards mid. Looks like they aren't really going to be changing too much from the previous gun round, but this time they will be going at least a little bit more passive. They will be holding back a bit further. Waiting to see if it's Sprout instead that decide to go for that first contact, as they do actually have Dennis quite aggressive on middle. He was pushed out towards the top. Looks like he is just going to retreat back, but so far EPSILON not really making any sort of move forward. Happy enough with just holding, waiting to see what is done by the Sprout side, but it looks like they may finally get a move on. Will make their way towards middle. NATO with the op gets the first shot onto the T-Sac, or Sac, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but he is going to be able to find the opening either way. Sprout now with a 5-on-4 as EPSILON. They get themselves the mid control, but it's costly. And let's see if that's going to be worth it.
Yeah, a little over a minute left after gaining the mid control, so still a lot of time to hit a site. But NATO, oh, the timing is off. He was holding the angle with the AWP. Smooya was going to have to peek in towards him. He's not going to get the chance for the frag. Nonetheless, Sprout still have the man advantage, so it's not a massive issue. You can already see EPSILON gaining ground in towards Connector. It's looking more and more likely they're going to go for an A split, especially with the time ticking down, 35 seconds left. And you can see Sprout, they've still got 2 players committed to B, which you don't see too often, so here comes the push. Dennis going to get that first kill, and now the rest of EPSILON have to trade quickly. Finding any frags. Innocent, in fact, is going to be the one to open up. Surreal eventually gets a kill for EPSILON, but it might just be too little too late. It's the Romanian left, and Cosmin will not find anything. EPSILON off to a very slow start here.
Yeah, they haven't really even had success getting too many kills. You can see because of that Sprout, they have a decent economy built up, and it looks like EPSILON are going to go ahead and go for the buy, but it's not going to be great. They are going to have 3 players being able to purchase up fully. Actually, Sac is able to do the same, but Smooya, he will be relegated to a Galil, but only a small amount of utility also to work with. As right now, Cosmin, he is actually changing his nickname, I believe. Was AFK for a moment, so this round actually starting off really slow for EPSILON, kind of not really given a choice. Had to change their nickname to their correct one, so yeah, let's see what they're going to be able to do now. It looks like once again they will put a lot of focus towards middle. This time they also have 2 players in the B apartments, and just one holding over towards Ramp, who has a smoke, so I guess a B split could be an option. They could maybe try and get that smoke towards the top of connector, try and split up through the apartments, but as they send some players to run their ground, I think their main plan right now is just try and take control of the middle, and Robin coming in from behind may be able to find that aggressive player. Dennis, let's see if he's ready for this. Baka is going to be actually facing this position originally, and Robin finds it, so does Smooya. Neo, though, he's looking to try and bring it back, finds the one onto Robin and falls back perfectly. Manages to remain alive, but still with a man disadvantage. Sprout now, they have to try and do something to bring this back in their favour. Either go for an aggressive push to try and get that kill, or else maybe take a bit of a gamble towards one of the bomb sites, and it looks like that gamble is going to be to just give up A, and I don't think that's the correct decision. Right now, EPSILON, they are going to be heading towards this bomb site, and that means that they should be able to get this bomb plant quite easily.
Yeah, that should be the round pretty much over. Sprout can't do anything, and considering they have 2 AWPs especially, I don't think retaking would be a good call. It's also worth pointing out that with NATO standing in, they do have 2 primary AWPers in terms of Crystal and NATO both being very competent with that AWP. So that's something that Sprout can look to play for, and on Mirage especially, that's something that can certainly work well for the CT side. So that's a positive for Sprout, I think, especially on Mirage, that they can work with. And EPSILON, I mean, they're going to finally get their first round together, but their economy could still be questionable, whereas Sprout should have money built up. And you can see EPSILON are looking somewhat tentative. I think they really want to focus on just saving their guns. That does mean they're going to have to let the 2 AWPs be saved, though. So that's somewhat of an issue for EPSILON. That's going to allow Sprout to keep strong in terms of money. I guess just simply money. But EPSILON, again, they have to focus on their own cash. So it's certainly the right decision. It's just a bit unfortunate for them.
Yeah, Sprout, of course, kind of fly back into this one. EPSILON able to win that round fairly cleanly, as you mentioned, focusing on their own money to make sure that they wouldn't be struggling into this round. And because of that, they will have a fairly solid buy, but they don't have the op. They are just going to be working with all the rifles. Robin on the M4, the rest of the players working with those AKs, as plenty of utility is also going to be available for both sides. So this is going to be a very close going round, very even in terms of what's available. The only thing EPSILON really lacking is the op, as right now it looks like they will once again just focus towards middle with 2 of those players. Continuing on to just early on, just hold and wait and see if any aggressive pushes come in. We have seen Dennis especially actually getting extremely aggressive towards middle, so that's something that they're perhaps looking to try and counter, but they should eventually get a move on. The bomb actually making its way back into the T-spawn. Interestingly enough, I believe they may be throwing out a window smoke from that position, I think it is. For now, EPSILON just continue to hold. Still well over a minute left on the clock, so no real rush to actually get anything done, but some utility has been used towards middle. They look to try and take this control now for themselves, and they should be able to do so. Sprout not really in a position to try and actually contest.
Yeah, again, the mid presence, quite common on the T side of Mirage, and it certainly seems to be the case for EPSILON, although those nades I thought might do a bit more damage. It was a decent idea from Sprout, but not quite working. Crystal also not going to get anything working with his AWP. He misses that opening shot. And again, connector control has gone the way of EPSILON. Robin is the man pushed up the furthest, and Surreal will find that entry. The push will come out to the site. Dennis, though, here's the steps. He's in a decent position here. As the push comes in, they won't check him. He gets a double kill very quickly, and Dennis makes it a 3rd. Cosme should push in for the trade. Eventually, he will find it. And NATO, misses that shot. It's back to a 2-on-2, but Speedy does spot the cross. Fortunately for him, he only gets the 1 frag, so it's a 1-on-1. The bomb is going to cross to the site. Smooth's just straight up taking the fight. And Crystal caught out in the open. A very confident peek from Smooya just about wins EPSILON the round.
Yeah, very confident peek considering he was so low HP and only had 2 bullets in his AK, so could have been very risky if he didn't connect us. We could have seen it going the other way in favor of Crystal, but yeah, EPSILON getting a 2nd round onto the board. It seems like we are going to have a pause coming in, and it's actually by the Sprout side. Dennis called for that, so I'm not quite sure what it is. Could be perhaps a tactical pause. I'm sure we'll have that confirmed in a moment. But if it was, then I guess they could be discussing whether they actually want to buy into this one, keeping the economy very low for EPSILON. They have enough to buy onto a couple of players, and maybe even enough to drop an M4 or 2. So they could scrape something together. Yeah, so it was definitely Sprout that called for the pause anyway. But we still don't have confirmation about whether it is a tactical or technical. So hopefully we find out soon.
It'll be interesting to see what Sprout invest into this round, though, because Innocent and Crystal both with plenty of cash. Dennis could buy up, so we certainly could see the force buy coming in. In the meantime, you can see Smooya's got a really, well, a pretty good spawn to peek mid. You can certainly get a better one, but it's not bad, so he's going to use that AWP more than likely, whereas Crystal on the CT side also had a really good spawn if he wants to peek out towards mid, so that could be interesting. If the AWP is bought by Crystal, I'm not expecting the AWP to be bought up, though. He's probably going to have to just drop a rifle over to a teammate if they go for the force, which seems likely, but no, he's going to drop the AWP to NATO. That's interesting. Crystal generally is the primary AWP for Sprout, But I guess having NATO on the team, they're confident in letting him do his work as the semi-permanent stand-in. He's been playing quite often in the recent weeks. And so we'll get to see this round come straight back underway. Smooya with the AWP, likely going to go for some sort of aggression early. Interestingly, though, he's going to go out towards B apps with the AWP. So it might just be a bit of a slower start to the round, because I wouldn't really expect Sprout to get too aggressive in B.
Yeah, for sure. But then again, if Smooya just pushes straight forward, like he has a rifle looking to try and find this entry frag, perhaps it may be an opening kill going in favor of one team or the other, depending on who's able to connect the shot. Smooya does get spotted out and actually receives the dink. Luckily enough, it was through the corner of the wall, so he does escape with 51 points of HP, so it's not really too big of a deal. But still, early on, the HP advantage is going to go in favor of Sprout, as right now EPSILON not really having any success on that early B aggression, so it looks like they will just go ahead and return back to this default that they've been going for, with the mid control coming in a bit late into the round, then make the decision about where they want to go. As right now, it looks like they will indeed finally begin to move. 4 players, I believe this is, going to be making their way up middle. And actually, there's a setup at the moment between the 2 players over in the ladder room, which is something that maybe could catch these players off guard if they do end up progressing towards the bottom of middle. As here we go, they will now finally begin to move forward. 50 seconds remaining, so they don't have a lot of time to make a decision about where they want to go. But it's looking like it will be a split toward the B bomb site. And Smooya, he legs Dennis straight through the wall there, reads that position there by the German player, and it's not going to work out. Taken down to 22 HP, he doesn't get the kill, so he doesn't actually know he's been able to get that damage in, but now the B-split will finally be beginning to move on. Crystal gets one at least, will be traded by Smooya, but Speedy in position now will be able to return it once again onto Cosmine. And Surreal and Robin trying to get out of the apartments. They should be able to do so, but they take some damage in the process. And there we go, Surreal, great headshot to be hit. Speedy able to take down one, as is Innocent, and now it's all onto Smooya. Tries it out to the AK at least and finishes off the low HP player, but with 2 more to find, it's still going to be difficult, and Innocent finds the final kill to allow Sprout to reset the economy of EPSILON.
Yeah, that's what they would have been looking for. Smooya, as you were saying, despite landing the shot, it doesn't really cause a massive sort of impact in the round. And ooh, EPSILON, they're going to go for the force buy here. I assumed they were going to go for a smaller investment, because you can see their buy doesn't look great. It's a lot to ask for of Smooya in this round with the 1 AWP in play. He's going to go out towards mid, and you can see he's got a teammate supporting him, but Smooya not quite going to get that opening. Crystal, I believe, did actually get hit there, or at least he took some damage, down to 64. In the meantime, Cosmine holding, gets an easy kill. Dennis tried to make an aggressive play. I'm not sure he was aware they were down to pistols, because they spotted the AWP out towards mid. And Surreal gets a really nice boost to catch Crystal out. So a man advantage here for EPSILON. And Speedy is pushing through B apartments. This is dangerous. He will now hear the steps, but he is stuck. He gets the 1 kill, but in comes the trade. And the Sprout are going to have to rotate very quickly.
Yeah, an extremely wild pre-fire there by Speedy. It was kind of surprising he even got 1 kill out of it, but out onto the bomb site already, it is going to be NATO Sapphics. He has the op, he's playing up close, but he will be facing off against Smooya. And there we go, he actually ends up winning that fight out, but unluckily he is still rather outnumbered and overwhelmed as Robin is able to find the trade. So there we go, all onto Innocent now on a 1-on-2. EPSILON with a very weak buy. They are going to be able to put this round in their favour, as Innocent is left to try and clutch this one out, but he does actually go ahead and reposition himself quite nicely. He comes in towards Kitchen, but Robin posted up on this angle will be able to find the headshot. That's decapitation for Innocent and a 3rd round for EPSILON, as Sprout now will be the team that have had their economy reset. So EPSILON been able to pull that one off with only the single op and mostly pistols. They turn this game now back in their favour. They put the momentum in favour of the T side, and Sprout now their economy has been completely broken.
Yeah, it was EPSILON who were on the back foot, but now they managed to take the lead in terms of the money and take the lead in terms of the players in this round, because Surreal has found that first frag. Despite there being plenty of nades for Sprouts, as they go off in towards top mid, EPSILON have repositioned over towards A. So good call from EPSILON just to go ahead and take a site. And that should make things a hell of a lot easier. Even though Sprout will push together, it's going to be quite difficult for them to even spot out an opponent as the bomb goes down. Unfortunate for Sprout, but they can still push together, and Surreal is holding ramp with the AWP. That's a little dangerous. If he goes down, maybe a chance to pick that one up. As I say that, though, Surreal is going to get the shot and just fall back.
Yes, Surreal needs to be careful. He may get overwhelmed in this position, but he does fall off correctly, allows Cosmin to give that support that was needed, and Surreal then has time to pull out to the CZ, so they will end up being able to win that round actually extremely cleanly, not losing a single player, I don't believe. So nice round by EPSILON, nice anti-eco, but once again, Sprout, after getting their economy reset, they won't have enough to actually allow for them to go for the buy in this round. But once again, it will be just the pistols, and a small amount of utility also to work with. Dennis is the only player that's able to get that Kevlar to work with. As right now, EPSILON looks like they will be just immediately going towards the A bomb site. They're selling some presence towards middle, as that's where they've gone mostly so far in this game. So selling a bit of presence, going back towards A, as Innocent even gets aggressive in towards Palace, and he will now have support. Dennis going to be pushing in to try and back him up. T-Sac, he's playing this extremely safe, will eventually push forward, finds the first headshot and the second. And we'll take down Dennis now, allowing for this A push to finally commence. And the CTs, they are in positions, but the only sad thing is that currently there's a wall of smokes that's down, completely blocking off their actual vision. Even with that being the case, rather, NATO Safik spamming through with the correct angle being guessed, is able to get some damage in. And now let's see if any kills can rather come in for the Sprout side. That's all they'll be aiming for. And to say that, Speedy and NATO Safik are able to take one each, but they are now the only two remaining players. And it's all onto NATO now. 1 on 3, only has a USP. Will get a deagle and hits a nice headshot onto Cosmin. So maybe a couple more kills could be found. Let's see if he's going to be able to get this done. He spots out one player under the Palace, but he doesn't know where T-Sac is. He's just playing safe at the moment, not peeking at all, playing off of his teammate. He'll eventually begin to peek now as NATO just wildly pre-firing his corners, trying to keep these players in the bomb site to drop these weapons. And there we go, he may be able to find another, but he's not connecting, but it doesn't matter. The bomb will be able to do the job at this point. As there we go, T-Sac falls. Surreal, last man standing, does at least save the AWP rather.
Yeah, EPSILON still get the round win, even if they did lose quite a few guns. So not a massive issue for them. They still have a decent amount of money built up, but it could have been better. Either way, NATO going to pick up the AWP. He has a good spawn for mid if he wants to hold that position, and he may just do that. In fact, NATO's going aggressive with the AWP. That could get interesting here, because EPSILON, again, they're going to go for the flash. They're going to try and go out towards mid, but there are 3 Sprout players waiting, one of them being Dennis. He's going to get that first kill. The response from EPSILON, though, is quite quick. They're just going to try and claim the A site. They realize there's heavy mid presence being shown. There is a gap in that smoke, though. This could be a kill for Dennis. Oh, he doesn't quite pull the trigger. Still a big mistake from EPSILON, though. That gap in the smoke could really come back to cost them, but it looks like the bomb should be safely on the site as Dennis now does the damage. Surreal has to make his way forwards, trying to find something, goes for the push. A good flash in for him, but he's not going to get the frag. Now, though, Crystal comes back around, so EPSILON get a couple of kills, and it looks like they are good to win this round.
Yeah, only Dennis now remains, and he will be found by Robin, who's able to close that one out. So, really nice round by EPSILON now. Will be able to get themselves a 6th round onto the board, equalise the scoreline, and it's actually looking really good now on the T side of Mirage. Once again, they're in control of the economy. Sprout don't have the money to buy. I think because of that, we have seen a pause being called by Dennis. I presume this is a tactical pause. Definitely needed at this point. Don't want to allow EPSILON to begin to run away with this half, but either way, likely they aren't going to be able to get much of an investment into this one, so probably focusing on the upcoming round once they can actually get those rifles out.
Wow, 6-6. I think EPSILON will be quite happy with, all things considered. They were down 5-0 to start the game off. They were getting a couple of bomb plants, but even with that, the rounds weren't necessarily close. In those first 5, Sprout always had 3 or more players surviving. So they were quite convincing victories up until that 6th round, where EPSILON finally got on the board. And ever since, they haven't really looked back. It's been a team performance as well. No one really standing out. Surreal currently leading the fragging, but nothing crazy on the EPSILON side of things. Here we go into round 13. Only pistols for Sprout. So unfortunately for them, this is likely going to be EPSILON taking the lead. We saw previously with the pistols, they decided to push up mid, but this time, just going to try and get lucky through the smoke. That's not going to be happening, though. EPSILON, again, will get control of mid. You do have to be somewhat careful, though, because NATO in towards connector might be able to find a frag if the timing's right, and Crystal nearly gets the opportunity for a frag himself. Not going to happen, but NATO does win that fight. Unfortunately for him, he was forced into the open, so it's still going to be Sprout only getting the 1 kill.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how Cosmian, NATO Safix managed to actually get that kill onto Cosmian, but still, EPSILON, they're able to bring it back in their favor. Speedy going to be the only one in position to try and actually hold this bomb site over towards B. Does have some support now, but it's not really going to work out. It's going to be Shaq that takes himself that first kill. Allows now for only Dennis and Innocent rather to be the last two men standing, and I think at this point they'll probably just want to try and save that rifle, but not really given the chance to do so. Smoothie hits himself a nice headshot. And now it's all onto Innocent in the kitchen, and it looks like you may have a player coming in his direction. Robin, he's pushed up close towards the door, may try and push forward, but it doesn't really matter. Surreal finds that kill for himself, and EPSILON, they're able to claim the lead.
Done pretty well to get back to this point. Again, it's going to be NATO Safix picking up the AWP. So it looks as though Crystal is not going to be the primary AWPer, which I think is fair enough. He always seems like someone who doesn't necessarily always want the AWP in his hands, whereas NATO seems much more confident with that gun. And EPSILON are lining up around the A site. This might be a good decision because you can already see only 2 CTs anywhere near A. The smoke still need to come in, and they are now, but Innocent, it's a very quick kill. That drops the bomb. In the meantime, Robin's trying to make a play out towards mid, and he will find a frag. Trade nearly comes out, but he's going to get his way into connector. Here comes Dennis, though. Good timing for the flank. Goes aggressive just at the right time. And now EPSILON in a 2v4 need the plant, but Smooya tried to make a play, and it's not going to be happening. Sprout win a convincing round.
Yeah, so equalized once again, back and forth a bit throughout this game so far, but mostly in terms of being kind of each team taking their turns at actually being able to chain the rounds together. But finally it is going to be Sprout to pick up another round for themselves after losing 5 in a row. So EPSILON had been able to get 7 out of the 8 rounds before that one, so it's still a bit really good comeback by EPSILON on the T side so far, and they still have the possibility to win out this half. So let's see if they're going to be able to do so, or if Sprout will be able to get themselves up to 8. I'd say that's probably what they will be aiming for. But coming into this one, they have the double up set of NATO Safix and Crystal. It is going to be with the double up, as you mentioned before. But with these players extremely capable with this weaponry, as right now Smooya just holding a tight angle in towards the apartments, as it looks like a B-split is on the cards, or rather on the table for EPSILON. That is what they're going to be trying to play towards, but it's not really working out. Crystal and Dennis find the opening kills. Crystal gets himself another, and Smooya eventually trades, but is it going to be enough is the question, as it doesn't seem likely. He's now the last man standing, has 2 kills, but he's going to need the ace clutch if he wants to take this round for his team, and he walks straight into the crosshair of NATO, as it is going to be A7 in favour of Sprout at half-time.
Yeah, not a bad half for EPSILON, considering their poor start. They get 7 rounds on the board. I think they'll be fairly okay with that. And considering they're heading into their CT side, they do have a lot of talented players. So if they can just hold their positions, there's still every chance for them to come out on top here. Remember, this is their map pick. It's also, I think, quite important to point out, Sprout, they don't really play Mirage too often. They've played it 5 times, and they've lost every single one. So that's not exactly the best of records. Recently losing to Na'Vi at that E-League major main qualifier, but they haven't played it with NATO, so maybe he is the difference maker they need. Heading into the second half, look at this from Sprout. 2 Molotovs, quite a few nades. Oftentimes when you see this, you'll see one of them go out towards mid just to counter the mid play. They throw a molly in towards window and try and go for the push. It looks like Sprout are going to go out towards mid. There goes that molly for window. Oh, that's a bit of a waste of $400. Not what you like to see in the pistol round, but the nades will all go out. Push coming in, and Smooya's the first man to frag. The CTs holding very passively, but it's working for the USPs to find some headshots.
Yeah, EPSILON going to be taking all the kills so far. Robin going to be able to drop NATO Safix, and Crystal and Innocent won't really survive for much longer either, as both those players are instantly going to be taken down. And EPSILON once again equalised the scoreline. But at the bomb plant Sprout, it looks like they will be investing into this one. Let's see if they buy up on everyone, or if NATO will aim towards getting the off out in the first gun round. I guess that's a real question that we could be asking. Crystal, I don't think he's buying either, so there we go. He will eventually invest. NATO Safix, the only one to not actually get the Kevlar for himself. As Sprout, they have a chance to maybe try and get something done. They have 1 smoke to work with. And Smooya was getting extremely aggressive there. They should be aware that he's actually dropped in towards the underpass. That could get dangerous. Getting those pistols up close and towards underpass can really cause a lot of damage. But Smooya finds himself 1. Nice shot by Surreal as he falls back off of the ticket booth. And Innocent attempting to try and get that trade frag won't be successful. Surreal and Smooya shutting this one down. The UK duo stepping it up to ensure that they will be able to successfully take this anti-eco. As now it's all onto Crystal and NATO Safix. They are able to get 1. Nice shot by Crystal. And it looks like because of that, Robin just wants to fall back off and not really risk any more kills being Hand it over to Sprout, but then again, Smooya decides that he wants to get aggressive, so let's see what's going to happen.
Yep, Smooya with that silenced M4 going to get the job done. Just going to be Crystal left. He's the man with the 1 kill, but I don't think he'll find any more. Indeed, he will not. So EPSILON regain the lead. And considering that was a round where Sprout had some investment, this round might be even more one-sided because we are unlikely to see anything brought up. NATO is the man with a bit of extra cash, but he wants that AWP. So it's literally 5 Glocks. It shouldn't be anything for Sprout, but you never know. You never know. They've still got guns. I mean, it would be a throw from EPSILON, for sure, if they lost this round. They would have thrown it away, but let's hope that doesn't happen, because right now they're spread across the map. I mean, there's no reason for them to lose this round, right?
Oh no, EPSILON, they ain't trading no Glocks. You can see they are even going aggressive, just pushing up into the apartments. That's, I believe it's pronounced Shack. I'm trying to get it right. Shack, is it? I think I'm correct anyway. But yeah, he was pushed aggressively. Decides just as the smoke begins to fade, he better fall back. Doesn't want to be taken down by 5 terrorists waiting on the other side. But right now, Sprout, they're not really doing that. They are going to be grouping up towards A. No utility, 5 Glocks. Their aim is a bomb plant, and their chances of getting that, I'd say, are very, very slim. As the rifles from the CT side, as well as the SMG in the hands of Smooya, of course, they should be shutting this one down. And there we go. Shaq able to take the first. Smooya pushes aggressively and actually only manages to take 1 kill before falling. But then again, Surreal still in position to shut this one down. Gets himself 1 kill, but he will be traded out by Spiddy eventually, as he does pick up a second. And Robin to close that round out in favour of EPSILON, who now claim themselves double digits.
And here comes the buy from Sprout. Let's see if NATO goes for the AWP. Indeed, he will. So the Dane will pick that one up. He has a pretty good spawn if he wanted to peek out in towards a ramp. That is somewhat of a risk. However, it looks like NATO is interested in doing so. In the meantime, EPSILON without the AWP, not going to go for any aggression, but NATO did get that opening frag. In the meantime, Smooya gets one back in towards Palace. So aggression on either side works for picks either way. NATO got the first for Sprout. Smooya got the first for EPSILON. So it just goes back to a 4v4. They cancel each other out. That should favor Sprout. You can see they already have mid presence. They're already into connector. That could make this A-hole quite difficult for the UK duo.
Yeah, certainly they have the option to come up connector and out of ramp also. And let's see what the CTs decide to do to actually hold this one down. They do have some utility to work with, some flashes. That smoke now beginning to fade away from the connector. But Crystal peeking out to try and get this opening kill. Will be doing a lot of damage onto Smooya, but for the moment, Smooya just ensuring he can stay alive. Still has to support the Surreal, of course, towards that triple box. And Sprout right now, they've been kind of halted in their tracks, yet to move forward. And Surreal with a nice timing on that Molotov should halt him for a little bit longer also. But he will swing out wide. Gets the trade at least, as Dennis will return it after Crystal falls. But Dennis, he's been stepping it up massively in this game. He will eventually fall to Cosmian. But NATO Safix is going to be able to trade that out once again onto T-Sac. So now it's all on Cosmian, 1-on-2, and he will be found. NATO Safix with the op finds the final 2 kills for Sprout. And they will be able to pick themselves up that first gun round into the second half.
Yeah, pretty well played round from Sprout, all things considered. The AWP of NATO really making a big difference. After getting the opening pick, he follows up with a couple more. And heading into round 20, EPSILON have elected to go for the Force. It's not exactly looking great, but they do have 3 rifles. You'll see Smooya hope to get lucky, but he doesn't do too much damage. So Crystal is down to 70 HP. He's going to come out towards top mid. Again, Sprout just leaving the bomb behind. No need to take that at this early stage. We are, however, going to see them gain mid control as Dennis spots a couple of players. So much damage on the spam. Robin is the man down to 22 HP. If he's not careful, 1 or 2 more stray bullets could take him down, and indeed they will. Innocent finishes things off where his teammate had started. Now, Sprout look to be grouping up around this A site. You can already see them going in for the push without the nades. It's working for them. However, Innocent does fall. Crystal is going to get onto the site, and the bomb will get planted.
Yeah, but EPSILON, at least able to retrieve themselves one of those M4s that is in the hands of Smooya now. But with no, well, rather, there is a defuse kit, but with a man disadvantage, and Crystal at the moment actually pushing quite aggressively could give them a chance. I was going to say they shouldn't really be able to get themselves back in towards this, but then again, if they give away some chances. But no, I think EPSILON are going to go ahead and save. No mistakes currently being made by Sprout. No openings into the retake. And they look to just try and save the M4 and the AK, but then again, oh my god. Player on short, I did not even notice that Spiddy. He's in a good position now to shut this one down and ensure that they can't save, as long as he isn't taken down himself, of course. T-Sec looking to try and pre-fire that angle, but doesn't want to really commit to that fight. Doesn't want to give the chance of his M4 being dropped, of course. But here we go now. Spiddy pushing forward. Will be taken down by T-Sec, and one more player on short. I believe that's NATO Safix is going to get spotted out, and he doesn't want to drop the op, so he will just fall off and allow for those 2 rifles to be saved. But EPSILON, even with those 2 rifles, they won't have enough to buy into this one.
Yeah, certainly worth saving the 2 rifles just to go ahead and keep themselves a chance at this round, especially with the pistols also being bought up. So we are all tied up here, 10-10. EPSILON might be a little bit worried here, considering this is their own map pick. They are on the back foot now in this second half. After winning the pistol as well, they would have really been liking their chances, but not quite going their way in the gun rounds. Currently, we are going to see... I mean, I still don't know how to pronounce T-Sac. I think it's probably Sac, but I see the word Sac, and then I just put a T in front of it because I'm English. But
yeah, I think it is T-Sac. I was messaged that it was T-Sac, and that's all they've ever heard, so...
That's what I thought.
Do tell me. Yeah, but I'm going to go back to that anyway. I'm pretty sure it is that, but there we go. NATO Safix with a nice opening kill. Takes down Smooya. Already that AK has been dropped out of the hands of the EPSILON side, and now T-Sac with the M4 is going to be the player we really, well, rather EPSILON really rely on. We look towards to try and get that opening kill now to bring it back in favour of the CT side. He will get one, but not before losing another teammate in the form of Cosme, and he gets taken down towards short. And it seems like Sprout now with a 1-man advantage probably don't want to really overface this anymore. Just group up and hit something together. But Robin, he's able to take down Innocent, retrieve himself a rifle. As now the B-bomb site, it will be the destination for the Sprout side. And currently no CT is in position to try and hold this one down, but they do have a defuse kit. And they do also have a couple of rifles to work with into this one if they decide to go for it. If not, they could try and just save once again. And it looks like that is indeed what they are going for. They've already begun to back off towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, not a terrible call, considering they don't have too much in terms of a couple of players lacking Kevlar. It's probably worth just saving rather than attempting this somewhat difficult retake, especially on the B site. We're going to see Robin stick around. He might try and play for an exit kill or 2, and he's one of the players with the AKs. See NATO Safix with the AWP, needs to be careful. They're actually going to have to get this frag to be able to exit safely, but Crystal gets that spam through just in time. I think NATO's dead, though. No, he survives. It's actually his teammate who goes down. So NATO lives in towards Kitchen with the AWP. That's the main thing. If you take a look at the money on the Sprout side, it's still not fully flowing for them. 1 round win for EPSILON would certainly put them into disarray.
Yeah, neither team really working with a great economy currently, and with the buy coming back out for EPSILON, I think this round is going to be quite important in terms of who's able to take control of the economy now late game. As however is likely going to be facing off again with weaker buy or maybe even an eco, as right now it looks to be a fast enough round coming in by Sprout. They will just immediately group towards the A-bomb site. Currently only Robin in position to try and hold this one down, as EPSILON have gone for a bit of a gamble. They've gone aggressive on mid, and it doesn't seem to be the correct decision currently. But then again, they have made a bit of a rotate. They've sent Smooya over to try and give some support towards A. Sprout still yet to really make a move, hoping maybe some mistakes will be made and the kill will be handed away and something can go in their favour before they decide to push. But they may have to get a move on quite soon now eventually, because they don't have control anywhere else on the map. The possibilities of flanks right now are something that is going to be in the back of their mind, as now it is going to be finally a commitment. Molotovs go down towards that new box back in the corner, and Robin is going to get forced out into the open. Can't really do much. Cosmian doing his best to bring it back. Does also have Surreal in position. Spam through the smoke. Won't be working in favour of Crystal, as it's Surreal to shut this one down. Gets a headshot onto Innocent also. As now it's only NATO Safix and Dennis that remain, but NATO Safix hits a great flick on the Smooya. He hits another onto Cosmian. And now it's beginning to fall apart for the CT side. If Dennis finds this, it's going to get dangerous. All onto T-Sac. He's going to be left alone now in a 1-on-2, as this round is just falling apart for the European side. 1 versus 2. Dennis and NATO Safix. The HP not really amazing, but they are just going to be falling back now. Nice pop flash goes in. Dennis going to be able to get in towards position to just play the time on the bomb. And he spots out T-Sac once again, so they know he's still coming in from CT, and he doesn't have a lot of time to work with the bomb. It's already beginning to tick. Has 2 kills to find, of course. NATO Safix playing up close with the op. Will he be able to find this kill? And there we go. The no-scope comes in. 12-10 now in favour of Sprout, as EPSILON, their economy once again has been broken.
So I completely forgot I left voice enable on, and Surreal literally said, "Why did we do that?" And I don't blame him, because Smooya just went jumping through that smoke like an absolute madman. I mean, I guess they're trying to play with as few UK players as possible, but you can't get rid of the UK CS. It's always there.
Yeah, just Smooya just jumping straight through the smoke was definitely a big mistake. I think it was Surreal, the next one to be taken down on top of the stairs smoke. He looked at, I think he tried to push forward to help Smooya once he saw Smooya kind of went on a bit of a mad one just pushing through the smoke. But then when Smooya died, he was like, nah, I'm backing out of this. Just didn't get a chance. NATO Safix took him down. And once again in this round, it is going to be Sprout that are able to claim the opening advantage. Cosmian gets taken down. At least Isak is in an aggressive position, but right now most of the focus for Sprout is towards mid, and they could maybe try and split up short, where it's only going to be two Deagles to hold this down. Smooya on short himself, one in the B apartments, and Smooya is going to be forced back off that angle. Nice usage of flashes. There we go. Spiddy able to take one. Dennis also shuts down Smooya, and now it's all on to Surreal. He has invested a small amount into this round. A Deagle and also Kevlar. If he just decides to maybe save that one, but he has been spotted out, and Crystal closes this round out in favor of Team Sprout, who now lead by 3.
Yeah, and that's the especially bad thing about losing that previous round. It was such a crucial round because remember, the loser was almost certainly going to be down to pistols. Sprout also didn't have that much cash, but now they have a decent amount built up. So EPSILON are going to have to win a couple of rounds as we see NATO again go for the A peak. He nearly got a chance for the pick there, but the smoke and nade denies him. In the meantime, though, there goes Smooya. His AWP will open things up. So that's what EPSILON were hoping for. Smooya gets a fairly easy opening frag. And Sprout don't really look like they're in position to get a kill back anytime soon. They're currently just spread across the map quite passively. At the same time, if they group up for an execute, there's a chance it would still be successful. They have a lot of nades left, so they can't count themselves out yet. A 4v5 is certainly not impossible to overcome. They don't have to go for any sort of crazy solo play. They can just afford to take things patiently, play their own game, and that looks to be what they are doing. With a minute left on the clock, they are still very spread across the map. Crystal is out towards mid. I think Spiddy will slowly but surely group up with him. So it might just be another fairly basic A split, and again, it's the UK boys holding the A site.
Yeah, very little utility remaining right now. Only flashes. Smooya, though, is able to find that kill onto Innocent, but Robin won't really be able to remain alive. He instantly falls to the hands of Spiddy. And now with just about 40 seconds remaining, just under 40 seconds, it looks like the T side have decided to actually make their way back towards the B bomb site, and this could get dangerous. Two players right now are going to be waiting. They have very little time to actually try and get in. It's going to be, I believe, T-Sac along with some support of Cosmian on short, as there we go. It will now be telegraphed. There is going to be flashes going in towards the B bomb site. T-Sac just holding a passive angle. Should be able to at least find one. He does so, gets himself a second, but Cosmian falls on short, and Spiddy's done a good job now picking up some kills. But it won't be enough, I don't believe, as it's now 1-on-2, but only 10 seconds remaining. Doesn't matter, Smooya closes that one out. So EPSILON getting themselves another round onto the board. Sprout, though, after winning, I believe it was 5 rounds in a row now, they are still going to have enough to buy into this one, so not struggling quite yet for the economy.
Yeah, Smooya steps up when needed again with that AWP. In the meantime, NATO again has the AWP on the T side, so might not be all that easy for Smooya to get the damage done. If those two get into a fight early, that could be very important because both NATO, Safix, and Smooya have had some really critical rounds for both of their sides. Remember, NATO won that previous 2v4 for them, and Cosmian finally showing up. Gets that opening kill. He's been very quiet so far. I was expecting him to be one of the standout players. In the meantime, Crystal is just straight up running onto the B site. He is leading the charge for his team. That MAC-10 willing to get up close and personal, and he did just that. Crystal there just got so much room for his team. He created a lot of space for them. Now in the 3v2, Sprout should be good.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes being made in this game so far by EPSILON. You have to say it's kind of what's tilted this game. Like, it's just slightly in favor of Sprout towards the end. We saw that 2v4 that they lost, and you have to look back on that and say if they were able to take that one, likely the scoreline would be the completely opposite way around right now. It'd likely be EPSILON that were leading 13-11, and Sprout now about to take a 14-11 lead as EPSILON once again. I don't think they're going to have enough to buy now into this following round. They have been completely reset. They took one gun round and then instantly lose the one that follows, so very little economy is going to be left over for them, and they'll only get 1,400 in terms of that loss bonus. So starting off from the bare minimum, as now Robin and Surreal will at least be able to save these rifles. It's a small positive, but a very, very small one indeed. As coming into this round now, do they actually allow Sprout to take map point, or do they try to actually battle it out and maybe try and keep themselves in this and not fight for overtime, and instead to try and actually go for a win? And it looks like that is the option. They get themselves out a couple of weapons at least. They get a AK-M4, a FAMAS, a UMP, and a CZ. So everyone going to be working with something different. As Sprout, they have everything they need to work with. And right now they will be just going for a default, knowing that the economy of EPSILON is quite weak into this one.
Yeah, EPSILON here really did have to go for the force. It's pretty much now or never for the EPSILON side, and they're going to go for the aggression. Again, Surreal has been solid so far in this game, and that continues. He gets that opening. In the meantime, though, the mid presence again goes the way of Sprout. Surreal going to swing back around for the second frag, but he's going to get overwhelmed. In the meantime, Dennis struggling to find the frag, but Smooya, so low on health, will be taken down. And it's all up to TSAC, 1 versus 3. You might hear the steps of Dennis, but as the smoke comes in, that will slow things down. He's going to try and go through the smoke. This might be 1 kill as Dennis is taken down. You can see such strong positions. NATO Safix in Palace with the AWP. Very difficult for TSAC to do anything here.
Yeah, may even be worth the save, even though it's just a FAMAS, especially if he doesn't get this kill within the next couple of seconds, because without a fuse kit, he doesn't have a lot of time to work with. Spam almost there, it's just going to be just about missing NATO Safix. Spots at the player on the bomb site, but I don't think he's really aware of the position of NATO currently, and because of that, NATO just peeks out, takes himself that kill. And it will be indeed Sprout now to get themselves onto map point in this first map. EPSILON, they have to buy into this one, and they're going to have very little to work with. Only pistols and Kevlar, I believe, with a small amount of utility to back that one up.
Yeah, EPSILON need a hero. Or maybe they just need the entire team to be heroes and get 1 kill. Either way, they need something with these pistols in this round 27. What could be the last round of this first map? And remember, this was EPSILON's map pick. So this is very worrying for them in this best of 3. Even though Inferno would be the third map, a map where they beat Sprout on just a few days ago, it's not exactly guaranteed we're going to get there. Let's put it that way. Either way, to start this round, Sprout just going to spread out. They should be very aware EPSILON's money is low, and you can see that in how they have set up very passively.
Yeah, certainly. They're definitely aware that just holding back, taking these longer range angles, ensuring that the rifles will be able to win out most of these fights, that every single fight that they do actually take, they'll be in an advantageous situation, exactly. And EPSILON, reminder for people, this is their map pick right now. They were probably counting on being able to take this one up. Next is Cobblestone, which Sprout are a pretty solid team on that map. It kind of goes around. It's kind of been overall, like, for the mostly German sides, it tends to be a bit of a good map for them. I remember Mouse used to be very solid on that map. They still are, and of course now they're no longer a full German side. But yeah, it's always a map that's been strong for the German teams. As right now, it's going to be a interesting round coming in by the T side. Crystal going to be able to lead the way up in the jungle, takes down Smooya. And it looks like we have full control of this A-bomb site, and also a lot of map control in towards jungle now. This retake is going to be almost impossible for the EPSILON side. Surreal finds at least 1 kill, but instantly going to be losing Robin in return, as well as Cosmian now to the hands of Crystal, as it's going to be all onto TSAC. 4 HP coming in from Underpass, and the same amount of opponents to try and find as he actually has HP available. Only a CZ won't be able to retrieve himself a weapon quite yet. May find at least 1 kill, but he won't be able to do so. NATO Safix shuts it down, and Sprout take this first map 16 to 11. So let's send it now back to the analyst desk to discuss what we just witnessed.
Maybe one qualifier slipped out of Sprout's hands, but the second one, they're surely not letting it go, and they win against EPSILON 16 to 11. 16 to 11 on Mirage, and of course a lot better performance now. Seems like from Sprout, they were prepared for basically everything that EPSILON had to offer, and EPSILON only one full buy round on their CD side. So Sprout looking much better after winning EPSILON's pick. They now go into their pick, Cobblestone, but before we go into Cobblestone, we're going to break down this Mirage. So 8-7 half, Danny, pretty close game until that point. Like it was round after round, changing routes, resetting, and so on and so on. But when it comes to T side from Sprout, seems like they had pretty good read on what EPSILON is going to do.
Well, yeah, on T side, Sprout had a problem. We've seen them losing a teammate in first 20 seconds of the round, but always there was NATO Safix trading that and even getting 3 kills from, let's say, apartments towards B, having that open plant. It's such a great performance by them, by him. But I remember one round, it was 11 to 10 for Sprout, 2v4 on A side, and NATO Safix killing 3 guys. One was through smoke, and managing to clutch that round out, so it's quite amazing.
Yeah, NATO, as we mentioned before the game started, that he's a really good upper, really good player as well. And he's currently showing that in Sprout. However, what do you think, what went wrong here for EPSILON on their city side?
What went wrong? Not to Suffix and Dennis. I mean, they play such a good game, especially Dennis on city side. He was so aggressive on middle. He was taking control of middle by himself. He was killing guys from the connector, in underpass and top of the middle, and he was always staying alive. They never returned the frag. So that's it. I mean, it's not like they play bad. I mean, they just didn't hit their shots, and I mean, it's first game, so.
Yeah, especially that last round of this game. Like they gambled, Surreal pushed a ramp. He had all the information. He thought he had all the information, but they were already back to A through connector. And
Surreal had one really bad play. They entered A site and he was as a city on the ticket booth and he jumped over the smoke. I mean, everybody will expect that, and they were 4-on-4, I think, in that situation. And when you lose your teammate who is taking control of the ticket booth, I mean, they can attack city spawn after that. I mean, in crucial round, it was a reset round, he jumped on the box and he died and they lost that round. Maybe everything would end up differently if they won that retake, because it's really hard to obtain and save that site until the bomb explodes if you don't have nades.
Yeah.
So in that point, they didn't have such much nades, and he jumped on the box and died, and they just lost it from that point on.
Yeah, basically everyone now expects that jump from smoke. Even they are spamming it just because they know one smoke can be used as a one-way smoke.
Yeah, I mean, if you throw a flash or your teammates throw flash in front of the ticket booth, it's okay, but just don't try without flash.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. When you get flash, it's maybe justiceable to go for that kind of a pick and try to get that man advantage for you in post plan. But that will be it in terms of Mirage between Sprout and EPSILON. Next map, as we mentioned, is going to be Cobblestone and is picked by Sprout. We are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we are going to analyze the second map, so stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Farmskins Championship Season 2, also a qualifier for IEM Katowice. My name is Rem and I will be your host for today. And of course with me in studio, Danny and Holgar. Hello, gentlemen, once again.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Why not do that?
I don't know.
It's better.
I don't have such
Like
a
we
voice.
are in a musical.
Yep.
Would be good.
Nobody will listen to us, right?
I would love my life to be as a musical, right?
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah.
Would.
Everybody can be a musician nowadays. Especially
Not me.
here. Yes, you can.
No.
Just couple of auto-tunes.
That's how it goes. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Yeah, let's get back to the match itself. So Sprout against EPSILON. Sprout managing to win first map with the result 16-11. And now we go back to Cobble. So they picked Cobble, and as our caster said, every German team basically is really good on cobblestone. So do you think, Holger, I'll start with you. Do you think that EPSILON has any chance now of bringing this back? Because we talked about at the beginning, we said that team needs to win a map, or first map. If EPSILON wins the map, they can have a shot of going to a third map. But now when they lost their pick, can they go for that decider?
As I said, I don't know, did they practice Cobble at all? I mean, their new fairly new lineup. And the thing is, Sprout, I mean, they have more experience. Crystal played in the major, right? And Innocent, I think, SPD also. So
Dennis.
Yeah, and Dennis. Everybody except NATO Suffix, right? NATO Suffix. So I mean, Cablestone is more experienced map than Mirage is. So I mean, it's fairly. It will go in their way.
Yeah, do you think maybe that, I don't know, Knife Round can help EPSILON here? Because I'm pretty sure they have really good individuals. So maybe they start T and try to dictate the tempo, basically, because it worked kinda on Mirage. They were even at one point. When they switched to City, they had problems. Maybe it's because Crystal has a lot of experience. He's reading EPSILON pretty well. And maybe after that loss yesterday, they decided to put a little bit of work into them and watch a couple of demos to see what are their tendencies.
Yeah, they played really better on T side in the previous map, and I will agree with you, they should start on T side. But still, I would like to agree with Holger as well, because I was about to say the same thing he did. Cobblestone is much more complex map than Mirage, and they have 4 experienced players that are like more experienced than guys from EPSILON. So I will still stick to what I said before the first map. Whoever wins the first map will win the second, so I'll go with Sprout on this one as well. Okay, so we are live in about 60 to 70 seconds. We can start slowly with our predictions, so we close this analyst test out. So you want me to start first, and how you're looking at me, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll say 16-8. Oh, my pencil. Okay, 16-8 Sprout. Oh, you changed from EPSILON to Sprout now. I mean, all hopes died with that Mirage. You for me, not for them.
Oh. Sprout 16-7.
Ooh.
16-7.
Yeah,
You want to be close?
Yeah, to you, yeah.
What did you say, Rema? 16-8. I'll go a little bit higher. 16-10 Sprout.
But I mean, even if EPSILON win a pistol round and they start as a T, doesn't matter. They will be kind of bad of City side, right? Yeah. Uncoordinated, so.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we get surprised. Practice, yeah, maybe we get surprised. Who knows? I would always like a surprise.
Who doesn't like underdogs, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Great story of underdog. Yeah. You can basically read all about it for QBF. Yeah. On HOTV, really well written story. So we are ready to go live as well. Boys that will bring you the action are Hoka and Dean. So take us away.
Thank you, guys. So coming into the second match now, this is going to be a difficult one for EPSILON. Sprout being able to claim the map pick of EPSILON, of course, now puts them in a very good position to try and get the 2-0. Let's see if that's going to happen. Of course, on the desk, I believe it was a very one-sided prediction mostly. I think only one person actually gave EPSILON that double-digit round score, so it's looking like Sprout are definitely in a solid position right now, and actually EPSILON will be able to claim that knife round, so they'll be able to decide which side they want to begin on. But of course, I'm Dean, and I am going to be alongside Hawke.
Yeah, it's interesting here on Cobblestone because back on Mirage, even though EPSILON picked that map, I mean, you're looking at it, they've only really played 1 or 2 games, and when they played against Tricked in a best of 3, they picked Mirage, they lost Mirage, then they had to play on Cobblestone, which was Tricked's pick, and then they won on that one. So maybe there's still a chance for EPSILON. They're definitely still a very young team, right? So it's still sort of to be seen what exactly their map pool is like. They probably won't be that well prepared for every map. So maybe Cobblestone could still go their way. They're going to start the CT side. And again, Sprout investing heavily into utility. They seem to like this on their pistol rounds. Let's hope this Molotov works a little bit better than the last one back on Mirage, though.
Yeah, let's see. Look at this interesting setup right now by EPSILON. That's not something you see every day. They have 2 players boosted up in connector, but at the moment, Sprout, they put a bit of presence towards B. That's actually sold a bit of a fake. The rotate did originally come in there by Robin, but at the moment, a lot of players focused heavily over towards that B bomb site. Well, I believe that boost actually still in place, so that's a very strange position to be holding from. I guess they may be expecting a split towards the A bomb site. They want to have those 2 players ready to shut down any sort of connector push through the drop room. But right now, Sprout, with most of their presence over towards A, there is, of course, 1 player left lurking, that's Spiddy. So that stack, it may end up coming in handy, but with only 1 player there at the moment, maybe it would have been a better decision to have that extra presence towards one of the bomb sites, specifically A, with Sprout right now looking to try and lock in their targets on this position. Smoke, of course, still in play by NATO Safix. Molotov available for Crystal, and a flash to try and blind up these players, as early on it is now finally going to be some contact being found. Crystal and Robin facing off against each other on middle. Damage being exchanged slightly, and it is going to go in favour of Sprout. But with 45 seconds now remaining, they need to get a move on soon, and a smoke going down is going to delay them a little bit further. Robin, nice shot there onto Crystal, takes them down. And now Sprout need to make a commitment to one of these bomb sites, and it looks like it's going to be towards B instead, with a bit of a fake towards A.
Yeah, NATO is the man trying to sell that fake, and oh my goodness, look at the map. A massive rotate comes in. Smoothie's going to spot them, but they're actually trying to split towards A. This is a disaster for Sprout. They're just going to get mowed down. That's really unfortunate. It's NATO, I mean, he did what he had to do. He was drawing the presence over towards A. Unfortunately, Sprout thought that they could go for the split there. It just seemed very awkwardly timed, though. NATO threw the smoke way before the push came down drop. And it's likely that's going to draw at least some sort of rotate, or players would be in connector ready to rotate. So it seems like a somewhat strange decision there from Sprout. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they had planned at the start of the round, but either way, EPSILON were ready for it.
Yeah, if they went towards B there, they likely would have won that round, or at least had a very solid chance to do so. Well, but definitely a higher chance than when they went towards A there, right into the stack and just got shut down. So into this one, they are going to have a very heavy utility investment, interestingly enough. Dennis, Innocent, NATO Safix, and Spiddy all go for some sort of utility. And Surreal right now, no Kevlar on these opponents. He will be able to just take down Innocent with ease, mows him down with the M4. Now he execute towards the B-bomb site. Let's see if anything is going to be found, but so far nothing really going to be going in favour of the Sprout side until NATO Safix finds 1 headshot with the Glock. Still not looking too good for Sprout, as the HP on Dennis is low. He will be finished off by Surreal. And now it's all on the NATO Safix and Crystal as they look to try and clutch this 2 versus 4, and they don't really have any map control either. Stuck on the bomb site, Crystal may at least get the bomb plant, but Robin, nice double spray down comes in as he closes that one out and gets the defuse. So EPSILON, they have 4 players alive, but Sprout, I'd say they'll be happy enough with getting 1 kill and the bomb plant out of that, but then again, they invested a lot in utility.
Yeah, the bomb plant did come in, but Sprout almost all invested. It was only NATO who was saving for the AWP, who could now get an AK with Kevlar, so it shouldn't really be any sort of crazy force buy, especially because now they can go for a couple of pistols and still be able to get a decent buy into the next round. So EPSILON will have the chance to extend their lead. It should be a very high chance of extending their lead, again, with the weak buy from Sprout, although TSAC could be in trouble here. Oh, never mind. He gets 3. I was going to say he might lose his rifle, but he is up to the task of holding them off, surviving on just 12 points of health. Now he is willing to just fall back. Again, good to see TSAC here just fall back. There's no need to stick around. There's no need to risk dying off and losing the M4. He will just look to hold on to his gun. And Crystal is just chilling in a smoke.
Yeah, Robin has actually pushed forward, so they should be able to find this kill. No, T-Sac, he's the man who plays patiently, and he ends up finding the final kill anyway, so I guess it's true what they say. Is it a turtle wins the race, slow and steady? He ends up getting the final kill, of course. Gets himself that extra, a little bit of stat padding, I guess, up against the pistols. But now Sprout, they will be coming hot, into this round hot, rather, with a buy. They have 4 rifles, they have the op on 8 of Sapphics, and right now EPSILON keeping even one of those SMGs in. So let's see if Sprout are going to be able to start this off strong on the first gun round. Right now it is a default with a lot of focus over towards the A position. They may be looking to try and get some map control, take over mid, and maybe even long, but Innocent spamming through the smoke. Takes down Surreal, and no trade is able to come in for the CT side, so looking decent now for Sprout, as they will begin to progress in towards the A-mid position. Nice spot there as T-Sac's legs are going to give away his position, and he will actually be taken down by Spiddy in the end, so I think that's just going to force the other player to fall back off and play this a bit more passive. That's Smooya. He has an op, and so many players right now are going to be converging on his position. Dennis comes in from behind, easy kill. The time not working in favour of Smooya. And now the A-bomb site under the control of Sprout, and all the kills so far going in their favour. Innocent closes it out with a quick double kill.
Well, Sprout made that round look quite easy. Quick and clean. They managed to claim that first round on the board. However, EPSILON won't be giving up without a fight. They're going to go for the buy back into this 5th round, and Smooya has the AWP. It looks decent on Mirage, but it's certainly a bit up and down. I feel like that's Smooya in general, though. He's a very flashy AWPer. He can make the plays, but sometimes maybe not making the best of decisions. Does feel like that's something that he could sort of try to improve on. Maybe just sort of, I guess it's fair to say, mediating himself, hitting an average rather than being so up and down. But oh, okay then. Cosmine just gets a kill through the smoke. That's not a bad way to start the round. EPSILON get a 3-man advantage.
Yeah, really nice job there to start that one off. But then again, if you continue to aggress, you do risk losing that man advantage, and you see that's what happens as Cosmian pushes forward, gets taken down by Spiddy. And now on a 4-on-4, Sprout been able to bring this back into a good position. They have some control in towards the drop room. Dennis is down in this position, but Robin up close with the UMP could maybe get the work done, but no, Dennis wins that fight. And now Sprout actually been able to claim the man advantage, as it looks like they will make their way towards the A-bomb site. T-Sac is in a very good position. He does also have Smooya now at the op to try and support, and he spots out the players, but he's not going to be shooting yet. Plays for some time, gets that one eventually, and just drops off the safety. You know, Sapphics not able to find the trade successfully, and Smooya with the op. He has to step it up here, doesn't actually connect that shot, but he's able to get some damage in, and actually successfully able to finish him off afterwards, as now it's a 2-on-2, and Surreal not looking too healthy, so it's a pretty decent position once again for Sprout, especially if they find this, but no, T-Sac, he steps it up once again, gets the double, and it's going to be EPSILON to reset the economy of Sprout, but luckily enough, winning the previous round with 5 alive, they will be able to scrape a bite together.
Yeah, I do like that boosted position there for a T-Sac to start the round. It's the kind of position you can play maybe once, twice a half maximum, because it is quite exposed from both positions. However, oftentimes teams do overlook that spot, and you see T-Sac gets that initial kill for free, then he can just drop off in towards mid and be a real nuisance for Sprout, and you can see they just could not deal with him. Very well played round from him. He's currently leading the way in terms of frags, up there at 7 kills at these very early stages. Having said that, this round won't be too easy for him to get kills. It's not quite an eco for Sprout. They've got the money for the buy. I thought for a second there Smooya may have spotted out the first man, but not quite being able to do so. And in the meantime, the rest of Sprout are going to come back and reposition over towards A. Cosmine is playing up close in towards mid. He does have some sort of support from T-Sac back on the site, but Cosmine just goes straight through the smoke. Okay, this is ballsy. It's not going to work out, though. Dennis gets that first kill, and Sprout again with a fairly quick man advantage.
Yeah, nice find there by Sprout. A bit of a mistake perhaps by Cosmine to stick around after not really spotting anyone out. Maybe should have just fell back off and gave the info to his team that either they were not over towards A or else they were focused on towards long. But Innocent pushing up on B long will be able to take down Surreal. Molotov's going to be not really timed correctly, and he ends up getting caught off guard. With a lot of damage done on the Sprout, though, there is still a chance for the CT side to bring this back, and T-Sac once again able to take down Dennis. But now the B-bomb site under the full control of Sprout. Let's see if Smooya will be able to find anything from this boost. Give them any chance to actually be able to make their way back into this bomb site. Bomb, of course, still yet to be planted, and Crystal actually jumping across there. That could have got dangerous, but Smooya just goes for the spam. And Crystal up close, very low HP. It's in a bit of a dangerous position with those wooden doors. One bullet would take him down, and Smooya hits a great headshot onto Innocent. He is going to be pre-aiming the tree, but it doesn't matter. NATO Sapix wins that fight, as now it's going to be back into a 3-on-2 in favor of Sprout, and the damage is being done. Robin down to 16, and I think they've just decided to save this one. Carry the op and the M4 over. Do their best to have something to work with in the following round, as their economy, it is not looking great.
Yeah, Sprout finds success towards the B site. Certainly something to watch for into the future, because we've seen EPSILON put a decent amount of presence over towards A. It seems like they want to have 2 players committed towards that A bomb site. So that does draw some questions as to whether or not they can rotate quickly enough. Either way, Sprout will claim their second round, and unfortunately for EPSILON, as you were saying, even with the 2 guns being saved, it's not going to be a great buy. But with how weak their economy is, it's probably just worth going for the full force, and they decide that is indeed the case. A couple of CZs brought up. We all know how powerful the CZs can be, though. In the correct positions, they can be very potent. In the meantime, though, look at Sprout go. They're going to switch up the pace of their play straight out towards B. They found success here previously, but this is a big gamble to take against a few CZs, especially with the massive rotate coming in. 4 players on the B site. This could be good for EPSILON, but Dennis boosted up, catches the first. Surreal finds the trade, and Sprout now need to commit to the push. They're not going to get too much ground, though. Robin finds another kill, and now Crystal has a lot to do, and he is going to do it. 2 kills quickly. Oh, it's a third for Crystal. He just keeps on going. Crystal with all 4 frags, beautifully done, and Sprout get their third.
Great run by Crystal there. It got a little bit scary after they took so long to actually manage to cross to the bomb site. They were kind of just playing around the smokes, and that allowed EPSILON to all rotate into position. 5 players were just waiting on that bomb site, and as you can see towards the end, it got a bit risky, but Crystal steps it up when it's required. The IGL of the Sprout side, and now EPSILON, after going for the investment into the previous round, they won't really be able to get anything out of this round at all, other than a couple of pistols being upgraded. So let's see if at least some damage can be done. Dennis, though, he's able to take down 1 player over towards Long. Does receive a dink in the process, but you won't really be too bothered about that. Only has the Mach 10 into this round either way. But actually, while we have a quick chance, while EPSILON are in the eco, I just want to go ahead and tell everyone to check out Farmskins.com. They have better drops than Gaben, and of course they are the people that help bring this tournament over towards you guys, allow us to actually cover it. And of course, right now, it is still just going to be eco by EPSILON rather, so I don't think much is really going to be found.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much for EPSILON to do. However, they have got, again, a bit of a stack going towards B. So if they could find a frag there, maybe a chance to find a rifle. And you can see Innocent will take the duels. Gets a second kill. There's the spray down for all 3. So it doesn't really matter in the end. Just going to be Smooya left alive. Was a little bit risky there. If Innocent lost one of those fights, then he does lose the AK. However, not really a massive issue, even if he does. And well, Innocent just holds off, so it doesn't really cause anything. Smooya's going to come through connector, but what can he do? Maybe 1 kill if he's lucky.
Yeah, maybe, but that's not even that likely. Maybe if someone from Sprout decides to overextend, but I don't know if that's going to happen. He goes for the peak himself, and because of that, he's going to get taken down. The rifle, of course, at that range should be winning that fight 9 out of 10 times, maybe even more, and that is indeed how it goes. Is now EPSILON going to be able to get back onto the buy at least, but it's not actually going to be amazing. They don't have the op. Robin isn't going to be able to even get the M4 out, neither is T-Sac, as he's going to be put onto a FAMAS. Robin with the UMP, of course, so let's see if EPSILON are going to be able to get themselves back into this now, or will we see Sprout being able to claim the lead for the first time in this map?
They'll be hoping that they can get the lead into this 9th round. As you were saying, they went behind early, but they've recovered in the gun rounds back to this even position. Now they do have that chance to gain the lead. Cosmin again is out towards Platt. He's played this position once or twice already. In the meantime, Dennis is going to push out towards A long with the Mach 10. Not quite connecting early on. EPSILON have used pretty much all their nades at the start of the round, so there's no real way for them to hold off the push except for straight up watching the angles, but oh, Smooya gets great timing out towards A long. That's a really important start to the round for EPSILON, because without the nades, they really can use that opening pick. That's going to help things out tremendously. With 55 seconds left, Sprout still don't have to be too pushy, but the clock is going to become a factor.
Yeah, certainly. Just under 50 seconds now remaining, and it looks like they will actually be focusing on this B-bomb site. They do have a couple of players, or rather all their players over towards this side of the map, and EPSILON right now have 3 players in position to try and hold this one down. They have basically no utility. Surreal is the only one that has a flashbang to work with, and Sprout still have plenty available. Loads of Molotovs, plenty of smokes. Or they do have the smoke, I believe that was, and there you go, the execute is now going to begin to come in. They're just going to be trying to overwhelm this defense, and let's see if they're going to be able to do so. Surreal takes one, Robin going to be able to take down Dennis, and now it's only Innes and the NATO Sapphics that remain as they're still looking to try and get this done, able to find 1 kill at least, but that won't be enough as EPSILON are able to come back into this one, get themselves a couple of weapons picked up. They do even get the op, Cosme able to retrieve that for Smooya. So EPSILON coming back into this, reclaiming their lead, and Sprout do still have the money to buy into this one though. A little bit left over afterwards.
Yeah, pretty convincing round there for EPSILON. They managed to win that one without too many issues, but the question is, can they follow it up? As you were saying, their money still isn't really that well built, despite saving 3 guns from the previous round. Look at Dennis go. He smokes the molly, trying to make something happen. Seems like a bit of a weird decision, but maybe Sprout had the call to try and go for the fast A play. Either way, Innocent will get a kill on the other side of the map. He's going to stick around here, and Surreal gets close, but he could be in trouble. The Molotov is coming in, and Innocent has the chance and does get the kill. On just 1 HP, he will eventually be traded on by Surreal. He's brought it back to a 3v3. He's certainly done his bit. Fortunately for Sprout, though, T-Sac in towards mid. If he goes for the push, might either be able to spot the bomb or get a free kill from behind, and there it is. Despite Crystal watching the angle, he falls, and EPSILON have the man lead.
Yeah, perfect peek there by T-Sac, able to take that opening kill, and now with only NATO Sapphics and Speedy remaining, they may be forced towards this A bomb site if they don't make a decision soon about where they want to go, and I think it is going to be towards A. T-Sac in a good position, has been stepping it up massively so far in this map for EPSILON. Let's see if he's going to be able to do it once again. As NATO Sapphics right now just holding back passively with the op. He can't really afford to do this for too long unless they just decide to save into this one. So let's see if that is what they go for, perhaps. Only 25 seconds now remaining. Still yet to really move at all, and I think they may actually just be looking to save this weaponry right now, as it's going to be difficult for them to try and get in towards this bomb site. But here we go, they will begin to move in finally. I don't know if they're really going to have the time to do so, but there we go. NATO hits the shot on the T-Sac, gives them the opening that's required. Molotov toward default. Smooya going to get forced out into the open as he jumps up on top of the bomb site instead, looking to try and stay alive and waste some time. But Sprout, they don't have the time, I don't believe. Surreal is going to have it just by staying alive, and that's why I was saying perhaps Sprout were just going to save. Very little time was left. They just ran that clock down a tiny bit too far.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. When you're in that 2v2, though, you just have to make sure you get the bomb at least started to be planting in time, because otherwise you're literally going to have no chance of winning the round. And you always have your teammate to follow you up as well, so you have to just commit to it and hope your teammate holds it off. Unfortunately for Sprout, maybe they didn't quite have the awareness of the clock, and that ends up costing them. However, into round 11... wouldn't be surprised to see them go for the buy. Even though the money doesn't look great, with the 2 guns being saved, it's probably worthwhile to go for the force here. I think they have taken a timeout, so it seems like they are just discussing exactly what they want to do in this position. It's still quite a tough spot, because 1 eco would probably be enough to get a strong buy back together. But you can see Crystal has now pulled the trigger. That's probably fair enough. I think the force buy is warranted here, especially because you can see on the EPSILON side, their money is also fairly awful. So if they win this round, Sprout are right back in the lead. Well, they would likely be in the lead as long as they didn't lose to a very weak buy.
Yeah, it's actually a really good buy right now for a Sprout, so I don't even think I'd consider this a forced buy. The only real person who's working with weaker weaponry is Innocent, but even then he gets a Deagle, and similar over on the EPSILON side, it's a UMP for Robin, so let's see what's going to be done in this one now by Sprout. They did, of course, have a bit of time to discuss maybe what they want to try and change up now to start getting themselves some more rounds onto the board. First, they did indeed choose this map, so still, I presume they would be have a lot prepared rather for this map, I would presume. So let's see what they're going to be able to do. Still really just focusing towards middle was what I was going to say. They have a lot of players over in this position, as they have throughout most of this half so far. Looking to try and get that control of A and then make the decision about where they want to go. Just 1 player left holding for some B aggression. T-Sac also likes to play up close on this ramp. We've seen him flash through that mid smoke before. as EPSILON right now looking to actually take a very aggressive stance on this hold. Not a map usually where you see the CT aggression coming in, but EPSILON are able to execute it well and take all that control towards B. That should now allow for some form of a gamble to be put towards the A-bomb site instead.
TSAC this time playing close mid. He might be spotted out here. Speedy is in the corner. Well, this is a little bit awkward, isn't it? The nades are going to come over the top. So the push will come through shortly, and TSAC will spot them out, but it's Robin on the first line of defense. The Ump does get the first, not quite the second frag. However, in the meantime, the rest of his teammates are doing the damage. Smooya there, through the smoke, lines it up. He may have been able to see the opponent on the map thanks to his teammates' vision, and that just about does enough for EPSILON. A dominating round win. And Sprout not really in position to buy into this round. They can go for a few pistols, but it is going to be EPSILON coming out to quite a strong lead now.
Yeah, looking much better. You said that they were able to do this in the past. They lost their own map pick and then came back on Cobblestone up against a different team. I can't remember what one exactly you said it was, but it looks like they may be able to do so once again. Off to a very solid start on the CT side. A fairly even map overall. That was really bad. Apologies, my throat was a bit dry. But yeah, a fairly even map overall. So I think Sprout probably were aiming for about 7 or 8 rounds, looking to try and be as close as possible once they swap over to that second half. And there we go, a good start into this one. The Deagle is going to be able to open it up. Surreal perhaps getting a little bit too over aggressive there and getting taken down.
A little bit unfortunate. But the gun won't be lost, or at least it won't be gained by a Sprout, I guess you could say. So that's, I guess, the one thing that they have as solace from that death. By the way, it does leave TSAC alone on the A site hold. With the silenced M4, this is a very difficult position to be in. Now, however, Robin is coming back over, so that is the support he needed. 53 seconds left, and Sprouts are lining up this push, but Cosmine is also in connector. Seems like EPSILON have a good read on this one because they peeked out towards Plat. You can see Smooya still peeking on the map. He's trying to spot for the info, and that information might be on point because with 38 seconds, the push is going to come in, but Spiddy opens up quickly. They don't expect Robin. 2-3 kills for Robin. Such a quick flick, but it's still not enough. Smooya's left 1v2, and he gets finished off. What an explosive round, but no one on EPSILON fragging except Robin with that ump.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? What's the bet that my voice crack is going to be on Reddit when we finish casting this game?
Oof. It might just be. It wasn't great. I mean, my voice is getting dry as well.
Yeah, I didn't take a drink of water. I have a 5-litre of water beside me, but I haven't taken a drink of it for a while, so that went really bad. I think that's the first voice crack I've had in about 2 years, so that's a little bit embarrassing. Of course, it happens in front of about 3,500 people, but yeah, it's a funny one for people to laugh at, I guess. I'm not really too bothered about it, but yeah, coming into this one now, EPSILON, their economy not looking great. They are going to be actually stuck onto an eco. Sprout in a good position now to try and get themselves up to a 6th round, and that makes it a pretty decent half already and still a chance to try and increase it even further. But of course, you have to withstand the pistol. Surreal, that's your teammate. What are you doing? He took 3 shots. Luckily enough, he aimed very poorly, so he only hit 1 of them. But still, that was a little bit dangerous there. Could have perhaps taken down Smooya. As right now, it is just going to be Sprout just looking to try and split towards this B-bomb site, it seems. Down drop room, Dennis and Innocent. They are going to be able to open it up. Also, Cosmine on low HP. Somehow finds 1 kill. Gets a little bit shaky there, but TSAC is now going to be the last man standing in a 1-on-4. I don't know if he's going to be able to get too much done, really.
Yeah, I do love that it's the 2 UK players accidentally shooting each other. Had to be, really, didn't it? If there's UK players in a game, it's going to be them making the bad plays. It's just how it goes, I feel like. Either way, TSAC just has a USP. Not much really to be said. Sprouts are going to get their 6th round together. I think it is worth pointing out, I feel as though Cosmine has been maybe underperforming a little bit throughout this series. I was kind of hoping for him to be one of the star players alongside Smooya, especially because he was in that old lineup. He did quite well for EPSILON then. So I'm a little bit maybe disappointed, but it is still early days, remember. This team still has time to settle. And we are going to see Sprout just about hold on to their guns. TSAC actually steals away an ump. I don't know how relevant that's going to be, but Sprout, make sure they stick together. They save as expected into round 14. Again, Smooya's going to have that AWP. Hasn't really found too much with the AWP just yet. It would be nice for him to have 1 or 2 more impactful rounds. Maybe that will be the case here in this 14th.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to pull this one off. Smooya has the up, of course. That's the main thing that they really need to try and get something working. And there you go in the head. And you see that he is able to open that one up. He takes down Nato Safix. Innocent, though, of course, able to try out that back spraying through the smoke and able to take down Cosmian successfully. So back into a 4-on-4. It was looking good for EPSILON. But Sprout, no, they will have that advantage. The CT's defense is just going to be spread a little bit more thinly, and on Cobblestone, a map where it's already hard to try and actually cover all those positions rather, now it's just going to get even more difficult, as it looks like some drop control was looking to come in by Sprout, but T-Sac takes down Dennis over towards A Long. That Soul Lurker is dropped before he can really get anything done. T-Sac able to push forward also and realise that no one else is in this position. And now it's going to be all the CTs getting themselves ready over towards B. Smooya with the up. Hits that shot onto Innocent, takes him down, and the boost coming in towards 3 now. Let's see if it's going to be successful. Crystal spots one, takes down Robin. No one thought that there is a player up towards the rock, but Smooya, he has the support of Surreal. And now it's all onto Spiddy, and Smooya with a great flick to close that one out. The UK player stepping it up there, as it is going to be an 8th round for EPSILON. And Sprout now in the final round of this first half. They still have money to just about get the buyout.
Well, I was calling for Smooya to have 1 or 2 more impactful rounds. That was a very impactful one. 3 kills for him, proving the doubters wrong. And into this last round of the half, as you were saying, it's still a 4x4 Sprout, so nothing that really needs to be pointed out on that front. We have seen Sprout very often, I think, go towards that B bomb site. I think that is shown in the scoreboard, where T-Sac has only died 5 times, despite Sprout winning 6 rounds. He's been that consistent A player, and oftentimes he has had to save once or twice, so that's certainly something to take into consideration. It seems like Sprout having most of their success towards B, but that's still yet to be seen. It has been a couple of rounds where they've gone towards A and been able to come out on top. And in this round, it seems like they might go out towards A, because there's 4 players waiting outside that A site. And Smooya is currently positioned there with the AWP, so after finding the 3K previously, might have the chance to do some more damage in this round here.
Yeah, and also T-Sac, who's so far been one of the better performers for EPSILON, is also going to be in that position close to mid. Although he has been in the spot quite a few times, so Sprout, they should be aware that this is a possibility. Molotov goes down with the smoke, and will be put down also to really stop that aggressive push from Sprout.
Sprout now going to go back over towards B. NATO Safix again has the AWP. He's going to go down drop, interestingly enough. This is a bit of a gamble, but with 28 seconds, the push is going to come in. T-Sac, in the meantime, is playing aggressively towards mid, so he should spot out that it's unlikely to be an A play. That's allowing the rotate to come in, but Dennis gets a quick entry. NATO also finds one with the AWP. Cosmian is still here, but he gets traded quickly. He is out in the open. Smooya drops the bomb. There's a second. That might be the round 1. The bomb is dropped. There's no time left, and they're not going to find this frag. Smooya, only 2 kills, but 2 kills that make all the difference. EPSILON get their 9th on the board. Sprout just take a little bit too long on that B push.
Yeah, and Smooya almost able to pick up the 3rd one there. It doesn't matter either way. He had done more than enough, been able to actually drop the bomb with very little time on the clock. So EPSILON actually able to get themselves a 9-6 half. They'll be very happy with that. It was a pretty solid performance overall. Sprout, we saw them a couple times been able to chain some rounds together, but mostly it was EPSILON actually in control of the economy. So let's see how it's going to go now as we head on to the second half. Of course, EPSILON looking good now to try and return the favour and take the map choice of Sprout and make them take a little bit of their own medicine after we saw EPSILON fall in the Mirage. You mentioned before, though, they have chose that map multiple times and actually lost it themselves. So maybe they should really be rethinking that approach.
Yeah, it is still early days for this team, so I don't want to judge them too harshly yet, because it felt like back on Mirage there were quite a few rounds where silly mistakes were being made, where maybe if they were a bit more well prepared, they wouldn't have made those rookie errors, I guess you could say. And this is a rookie team, so that's something you have to expect. But Cobblestone, it seemed a little bit more well prepared on this CT side. The question is, how is their terrorist side going to be? Because that's where you can have the issues if you're not quite on the same page. That's still yet to be seen on the EPSILON side, at least here on Cobble. Looks like both teams are now ready, so we'll get to see the pistol round come underway. I guess the one bonus is EPSILON, they could just go for some sort of rush down drop with full-on Kevlar if they wanted to. The pistol round, you don't really need to be as together, so that could go their way. It's yet to be seen, though, exactly what they're going to buy. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we will finally be getting back into the action though, so we didn't have too long of a break. We will be immediately returning to this to see if it's going to be EPSILON beginning to run away with a nice lead, or will Sprout be able to once again make sure that it's going to be a close game. Of course, EPSILON already doing better than most people on the desk predicted, so let's see which way this is going to go now, as Robin will be the man to pick up a utility. Gets himself a smoke along with a couple of flashes, and over on the CT side, Crystal is the man that sacrifices the Kevlar in order to get that defuse kit and a smoke, and it looks to be a fast round now, right now by EPSILON. 3 players down drop, 2 players on the B long position, and right now it's only really Spiddy and I believe that is Crystal to try and hold down this bomb site, and with the smokes going down it's going to get even more difficult. But Spiddy in a good position, they aren't actually going to be checking this. Nice shot by Nato. Safix will get at least one, but back in favour of EPSILON. Smooya and Robin take one each, and continuous fights ends up with Sprout having a one-man advantage, and now it's all on to Smooya. Left in a 1-on-3, gets himself the first, tapping away with the Glock. It's getting dangerous, but Dennis, he'll be in position to just shut that one down, and it will be Sprout to indeed bring themselves up to a 7th.
Yeah, some awkward fights there towards the site. NATO Safix in particular struggled a little bit on the initial fight, but then managed to reload, managed to reposition for the second time around, and eventually got the frag he needed. And then the rest of EPSILON just kind of fell apart on the B push. You saw Smooya get 1 or 2 frags, but not enough. So heading into the 17th round, the pistols are here for EPSILON, but Cosmine is already gone. Having said that, Smooya is starting to warm up. He gets a kill with the Desert Eagle and also gets an M4 as a reward. He was the one player that didn't fully invest though, because he wanted that AWP, so he doesn't have the Kevlar with his rifle. Might be worth throwing that to a teammate, but for the time being he is sticking with it. And here comes a little bit of a push out towards the A site, but there are 3 CTs here, Spiddy being one of them and NATO being another. He's going to get 2 kills. And Smooya, okay, good position for the 1 frag. He's still got 3 more to find, but that's a start, I guess.
Yeah, and also a lot of time. He has still over a minute remaining, so he has a bit of time to work with. If not win this round, maybe even just try and get 1 or 2 more kills if possible. Spiddy being extremely low gives him a bit of a chance to maybe try and do that, as he will try to approach now from the door. Has the M4, of course, still. Having no armor, though, will be a small problem. Aim punch is going to be a factor. Gets the kill towards mid, though. Takes down Crystal, and that's actually the player with the most HP that falls. So Innocent and Spiddy now, they're going to be left to try and close this one out in a 2-on-1. And Spiddy only 6 points of HP, but he spots out Smooya. Goes for the pre-fire and gets himself some damage, as now Smooya finally moving. 3 seconds remaining. Knows position of 1. Gets the kill on the Innocent, but Spiddy clutches it. That could have got really dangerous. Spiddy was so low. A single bullet would have taken him down. But Sprout in the end, they do manage to claw their way over the finish line in that round and successfully survive the anti-eco.
Oh, Smooya? That's an AK. Okay, he's clearly feeling it. Not sure the rest of the team is, because they are very slow to buy up. But clearly Smooya is confident he can get the job done with the 1 AK alongside the pistols. I mean, at the very least, this is going to be unexpected for the Sprout side, I guess you could say. There's no way they predict a force buy here. TSAC going to be trying to go out towards Plat early on. The P250 out does get the opening kill. Okay, this becomes dangerous now as Robin gets great timing on the push. This is looking good for EPSILON. They get 2 openings, and it wasn't even Smooya with the AK who had to find those first frags.
Yeah, really great start to this round for EPSILON. Perhaps even better than they could have expected. Been able to retrieve himself a UMP also to work with, and only taking a bit of damage onto TSAC. So right now, Sprout, bit of a gamble towards the A-bomb site. There is 2 players in position to try and hold this one down. But NATO Safix is now going to be the sole one, as Spiddy decides to back off once that smoke goes down towards door. NATO goes for a peek, at least gets himself some info, but he needs to be cautious now. There will be players coming in from A-long also, as he does have the support from Spiddy finally, but it's going to be difficult for them to try and shut this one down. They will get overwhelmed indeed. Cosmine and Surreal taking 1 each, as now it's all onto Crystal in a 1-on-4. This round it has fallen apart for the German side, as EPSILON looking likely to reach double digits.
Well, Smooya buys the AK and doesn't even really shoot it. It's the rest of the team that get the kills between them. 4 frags for the CZs alongside the AK. And so EPSILON, well, they get the job done. Crystal is just going to have to save. Very surprising that the AK didn't even have to do anything there. Smooya was just waiting to be able to trade with his teammates. However, instead, they go in first to get the information and end up just winning the fights. I do like the setup as well from EPSILON there. It's pretty sort of normal, but just having Smooya as the second or third player running in allows him to have the chance to get the trades. But yeah, they didn't need that this time around. They're going to get up to their 10th round, and that's really brutal for Sprout's economy. Even with the 1 rifle saved, their money looks fairly brutal. In fact, Sprouts are going to have a very similar buy to what EPSILON just had in that previous round.
Yeah, just the one rifle, which interestingly enough is going to be carried over by Crystal. I presume that would have maybe been dropped to one of the players that is perhaps a bit more capable with the rifle, but I guess he's happy enough with just continuing on with that himself, as he also has quite a lot of utility to back it up. He has the Molotov, he has the smoke, and he also has flashes, and it looks like they will be going for a boost in towards the drop room, but they made a lot of noise in the process, and Innocent able to spot out a few players on long. Great shot on the Smooya. Takes his head straight off, as with flashes also gone down, EPSILON are going to be forced back from this position. Great usage of Molotovs also, as now it is going to be a man advantage for a Sprout, and they completely denied a chance for a trade frag to come in for EPSILON.
In the meantime, EPSILON just going to come straight back towards A. They want to go quickly, with good reason, because there is only one player currently out towards A, but NATO Safix can just tuck his way out towards A long and hide away. Makes things much easier for his team, because he's going to get the kill. He's going to keep on going. NATO gets a second frag. And out of nowhere, EPSILON only have one man left. Cosmin, out in the open, will be taken down. Just as EPSILON get back into a great position, it gets snatched away from them by Sprout winning. Yeah, they probably will, but
yeah,
it's, oof, I mean, it's a game of forces right now.
They have 3 rifles though. I feel like they have too many rifles to win a force buy round.
Ooh,
it
true.
seems like the pistols do most of the work nowadays. So T-Sac, he'll be the man we look towards to get the heavy lifting done into this round, obviously with that Deagle. When he messing though, but yeah, 3 AKs. That's actually not too bad of a buy into this one. It's not much worse than the investment that we're currently seeing come into this one by Sprout. So it should be a fairly even round. Of course, EPSILON not going to be too happy with that, but Surreal spamming through the smoke, damage being done onto Dennis. Drops him down to 22 points of HP, down to that red zone. As EPSILON now starting this round off quite strong, actually.
Wow, Dennis down to 20. Oh, okay. Whoa.
How did that happen?
Well, did Dennis get boosted up? What even was that? He's going to get taken down nonetheless. There goes Innocent, though, getting a couple of kills back. Makes it a second. That makes a big, big difference. I still don't know how Dennis was in the smoke with T-Sac out towards B-Plat. NATO Safix is going to get a free kill from behind, and so it doesn't matter that Dennis died off because the rest of his team managed to get the job done. Unless Cosmin gets one of the most insane clutches. I mean, a 1v4 isn't that insane, but you know what I mean. It's not happening, is it?
Probably not, no. Most likely not. But yeah, Sprout been able to chain 2 rounds together now, or at least should be able to do so. But yeah, Dennis, what happened was early on the round, he got boosted up with drop. He got taken down to 22 HP, and I guess he just decided to run forward and jump around to long, and he just ended up with his back against an opponent. Didn't really work out for him at all. He got taken down. But didn't really matter in the end, as Sprout likely to still take this round. We do see over towards the A bomb site though, maybe a bomb can come can be planted at least. Cosmin is going to be able to get that down, so a small bonus at least going to be found, as now he has a chance to try and actually clutch this one out. 4 players, one of those being only 5 HP, but they know he's stuck onto the bomb site, which is a problem. Doesn't really have much room to really move around, as now he will definitely be spotted. If players coming from above all directions, Cosmin finds the 1 kill at least, but Crystal instantly does come in with that trade, as it is going to be Sprout now to equalise the scoreline.
Again, a very hotly contested matchup, back to a 10-10 scoreline. I believe we were at this point as well, back on Mirage at one point in the game, but it was Sprout who took that one fairly decently. Let's see if EPSILON can overcome that this time around, because again, they only have pistols. Not exactly feeling great for them, but we've seen what they can do with pistols in the past. In that one round, they managed to take. Sprout this time trying to stick together a little bit more. Dennis and NATO Safix both focused in towards mid. Dennis going to be playing up close. Does mean that if they both go down, the A site would be completely lost quite quickly, and A-Long could become a factor in that. You can see now Dennis is going to fall back to watch that position, so shouldn't be a massive issue, especially because there's now a 3rd player rotating. Having said that, NATO gets caught out, but Spiddy is here. He is the rotator, and he gets 3 kills so quickly. I think the players without Kevlar fell really, really fast there. That's what costed them. Robin does get the 1 kill. Ooh, an AK in his hands. Maybe a chance here. This is very winnable for Robin now. They're going to fight him. I was going to say, if Robin gets that headshot, he could do it, but not meant to be. Sprout claimed the lead.
Yeah, I guess you could say that was a very speedy 3K.
Oh.
That is the worst joke I've ever made, but yeah. May as well keep it a bit entertaining. We can have a bit of fun also while we cast. But yeah, Sprout able to get themselves that lead now. Has been very back and forth overall. So let's see if it's going to actually continue to do so, or will one team finally begin to take some momentum, as EPSILON now been able to get the buyout into this one. Won't have the up though. It is just going to be the 5 AKs, but a decent amount of utility to work with will allow them to actually try and get these opening kills. Nice flash by TSAC, but he doesn't peek it on time to actually capitalize on that one. You know, Sapix is allowed to fall back off and stay alive for the moment. As now it is going to be the T's looking to try and get some control over towards A, and Dennis at the moment is solo and he's very aggressive also. If he gets taken down, this could give a lot of room for EPSILON to just commit to this bomb site, and right now they're even just creeping up the ramp, and it's only going to be Spitty back behind that door to try and actually put in any form of defense. And I don't know if it's really going to be much happening now. It should be actually just the bomb going down, and maybe a bit of an awkward 5-on-5 retake is going to be coming in with no damage yet exchanged. Not something you see all the time, but Dennis, he's in a good position, gets one. He isn't actually going to spot out Smoothie, so the bomb will go down before the damage is going to be traded back. But still, Sprout with a one-man advantage, and Smoothie doing more even through that wood there. But somehow Dennis, for the moment, is going to remain alive. Cosmian, he's being boosted up, pushing forward. He's going to be able to spot out NATO Safix and Cosmian as he finds himself at least one. But still, Sprout now with a one-man advantage.
They're going to try and force this retake. TSAC is going to hold off, and he gets that headshot. That might just make the difference because the time is ticking down, and Smoothie, flicking all over the place, gets that headshot. Just going to be Spitty left, and he looks to save the AWP. Smoothie will just fall back. EPSILON should be safe as he goes ahead and runs as far away as he can. And there we go. Spitty just forced to save. Back to an even scoreline. Very, very tight game so far. Been seeing quite a few forces won back and forth, but so far in this second half, Sprout have probably had the best of things, but that might not be the case here, because with only pistols to play with alongside the AWP, EPSILON have got to be feeling like this is their chance to really make their mark on this map.
Yeah, certainly. They have an up on Spitty, interestingly enough. It's strange that they decide to have him rocking that weapon when they have two primary uppers, and neither of those is Spitty. But I guess he's confident with it at the moment. He is also the only player that was able to invest into the Kevlar. So let's see what he's going to be able to get done into this one. As once again, EPSILON just working with the 5 rifles. They are going to be taking this one quite passively overall, holding fairly slowly, but with a lot of focus on A as they slowly try to creep up and get themselves that map control. And they're going to walk directly into a few players. This could get dangerous. But as I say, that Robin finds that crucial opening onto Dennis, and that's going to force the other player that was towards A, NATO Safix, to just fall off now and play back towards the bomb site itself along with his teammate.
Well, that is the first kill, and that nade also does a bit more damage. The AWP is still in play, but Spitty isn't going massively aggressive. He's just holding off towards B plat over at B long. Players on the EPSILON side could have still gone back towards him. That would have been scary. But it looks as though now EPSILON are going to go for the A play, except for TSAC. He does peek into the AWP. He does fall, but that means that Sprout had a little bit of a fake soul to them, I guess you could say. They saw the one player towards B. They thought it might have been a B push. But now the A play comes in. The rotate, however, has come quickly. NATO gets a quick kill. Trade's going back. It's back to a 2-on-2, and Spitty gets that quick flick. He got 3 kills out of that round, and Sprout, in a matter of seconds, get the round win. That was very, very surprising that they could even get back to the A site in time there.
Yeah, that's not good for EPSILON. Their economy is being completely reset. Sprout, I guess you could say, they've kind of blossomed into a full flower right now, as they're going to be able to take full control of this game. I'm going to continue on with trying to make the cheesiest things I can possibly say, by the way. So just a warning, if anyone wants to go ahead and mute the stream whenever I start speaking, that is probably for the best. But yeah, EPSILON, their economy not looking great right now. They actually have a player within double eco territory, so Cosmian, even if they decide to eco into this one, he won't be able to get the full buy in the following round. The rest of his teammates, though, should be able to get the AKs out at least. Robin, maybe could drop the op over, or could go glass cannon himself, but I don't think that would really be worthwhile.
Yeah, at least they've taken the time out here, because that is, again, another round loss that is fairly devastating.
What's the chances Crystal forgets to buy Kevlar here? Because people always do that when they win an eco round.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Oh, there we go.
Oh, he's done it. Does happen quite often, especially if you save a gun from the previous round and you didn't have Kevlar, and you're like, oh,
you're all hyped about the win. Yeah, you're all hyped about the win, and you don't realize, and then you're like, oh, about 30 seconds into the round, you look down and you're like, oh no, I have no Kevlar.
Oof. It's kind coming from a personal place there, Dean. I can feel it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's happened many times.
I'm a bit stupid sometimes, yeah. But yeah, fast play towards A. I don't think we'll really see much happening for EPSILON unless they can maybe catch a few players off guard. So Real finds one at least, but still, so far it's going to be Sprout taking most of the kills in their own favour. Dennis able to finish off 2, and T-Sac now last man standing, aiming for the bomb plant. This is actually a pretty decent find right now, as at least they will get that extra $800 per player, and T-Sac even gets 1 more kill with only the Glock. So 3 players remain alive for Sprout, as at least some damage has been done by EPSILON in this round. And now going into the following with that bomb plant, they should be able to actually get a fairly solid buyout.
Yeah, it's basically as good as good as EPSILON could have hoped for, but even then, we're at that sort of late stage of the second half where you really want to be competing for every single round. They're already 13-11 down. Sprout are just edging ever closer to the series win. We are going to see EPSILON have the full buy though. Smooya again has the AWP. He's been quite impactful on that when he's been able to pick that one up. And into this 25th round, we are just going to see EPSILON spread across the map. It does seem fairly often teams try and take these rounds slowly. Surreal there. Very close to being taken down. That shot through the door takes him low to 33 HP. Nice little line up there from NATO to kick things off. Good start for Sprout, although not an opening pick, so nothing incredible. But with NATO still being out towards A with the AWP, he could certainly still do some more damage.
Oh yeah, certainly. There's a decent setup right now. We also see Dennis has been very aggressive right now down towards middle, but he tries to actually push forward. T-Sac is going to be able to take him down. And now NATO really has to get a lot of work done from this position. He has 5 players coming towards him from different angles also, which is going to complicate things even further. He gets at least 1, but thanks to the little gap being available underneath that van, it is going to be Surreal successfully finding the trade. And Spiddy and Crystal now are just kind of stuck in towards the underneath balcony, but they're going to be able to get a few kills out of it at least. They get 1, tried it back by Cosmian as he gets a second headshot onto Innocent, and now it's all onto Crystal in a 1-on-3 to try and win this one out. I don't think he's aware both players are on the bomb site, but he's just playing around, low HP. He definitely has a chance to win this as he gets himself another all onto Smooya, and he falls! It's Crystal to clutch to 1 versus 3.
Whew. That was tense, but Crystal holds his nerve there. That was impressive. The spray, well, not even spray transfer, but the spray on towards multiple opponents, not easy to do. He put himself in a pretty good position as well, where he had cover, at least decently, from some sides. So if he got the kills quickly enough, he could take extra fights. And that's exactly what came through. Huge round there, because now EPSILON are looking desperate. They're going to go for the B rush. MAC-10s, pistols in hands, and not really anything to show for it. The kill's already coming in. Crystal gets flashed, and it's a great flash at that. Crystal keeps on fragging. Another 2k for him, and he might just look to make it a 3rd. Nearly took Smooya down there. Smooya sneaks his way forwards, but it's Dennis to eventually hunt him down. And it looks as though Sprout are going to get revenge here after losing against EPSILON in the other IEM Katowice qualifier. Seems as though in this one, they've got EPSILON's number.
Oh, they've got more than numbered. That was just an amazing round by Crystal. Back-to-back 2 rounds in a row. The IGL of the Sprout side steps it up massively. Not usually a player known for that rifle play either. Tends to be a primary opper, but of course handing that over towards NATO, and he definitely seems to be readjusting quite well now to the rifles as he gets himself an amazing clutch. And now it's going to be map point in favour of Sprout as EPSILON buying into this one. Of course, they have to get what they can out of it, but it's not really going to be amazing. They have 2 AKs, a Galil, a UMP, and a Desert Eagle, but also a very limited amount of utilities. Right now, it looks like they will be looking to maybe try and split towards this A bomb site. Looking to try and make their way down the connector with 3 players, and a good setup right now. We see Speedy in a good position, but he won't be able to find that opening kill. Robin opens it up instead, gets the headshot. Dennis going to be able to trade it back, but Robin once again steps it up. The Swede going to be able to find 2 important headshots to give a chance, but NATO returns it with the off. Takes down 1 more, and Cosmian on the flank once again, as it will be eventually EPSILON to come out on top of those trades. But Sprout have decided to go for a long rotate. 2 players coming in from middle now. They will be in a good position. Perhaps this won't be known, and they have a small element of surprise at least to try and work with.
Cosmian here's the steps, quick headshot, double spray down for a triple kill on the round, and EPSILON keep themselves alive. It's around 28 here. Sprout have a decision to make in terms of whether or not they want to buy, and I think that decision has been answered because Spiddy has only bought a Zeus, so looks like they won't go for the full purchase, and I do agree with that decision at this point. you have the opportunity to just make sure you get a proper full buy together, and they can still at least invest something into this round and maybe have at least a slither of hope, at least some sort of chance. You're going to see Crystal try and get some ridiculous jumping dig shots. Cosmine on the edge of that smoke. Very quick shot to get that opener. In the meantime, Smooya hoping for some lucky spray, not going to find it. You can see those Sprout all grouped up around Flat. Cosmine could get overwhelmed if he's not careful, but Cosmine gets himself a quick triple. And now it's only really going to be Spiddy. He does actually get the Zeus kill there, and NATO also finds a frag. A little bit dangerous, but if NATO goes down, that should be the round. And Smooya will find just that. Only Spiddy left. Looks like Sprout are going to have to concede this one, but again, this was an eco. They're focused on the next round.
Yeah, focused on just getting out a good gun round into the following, and then they have a pretty decent economy actually available to them. They'll be getting 1900 on top of what they currently have, and they actually have a couple of players above 3000, one on 4300. That's Crystal, so he could even buy up that up if he wanted to do so. Now, Safix, of course, he should have enough to get one of his own of it, but that would be glass cannon, so they may Crystal may maybe even drop that over to his teammate. But yeah, double up setup, not really too viable on this map, so I'm expecting only one. But the question is who brings that out. But yeah, Spiddy right now, he actually has a decent chance of actually being able to save this AK, allow himself to get that extra utility into the upcoming round. Smooya trying to hunt, maybe able to actually find them within the last few seconds, but Spiddy wins the fight, gets himself the headshot, and now it's only 2 rounds, and the difference is EPSILON looking possible now that they could maybe force this into overtime. If they take this gun round, then Sprout in the potentially final round would be working with a very weak buy.
Here we go. This round could decide this series. Well, I mean, any round could at this point, because Sprout are up at series point. But this is their best chance to take the win. We are going to see the AWPs on both sides. NATO has been fairly good so far, as has Smooya. They've both been certainly good performers for their respective teams, especially when they've had those AWPs. And that's something they both have to play with here. We haven't really seen the opposite AWPers fight each other all that often, though. So if either of those AWPers could take the opposite number down, then that would be a huge, huge way to start things off. And that's certainly a possibility here, because Smooya's out towards A long, whereas NATO is towards the A site. Doesn't quite seem as though Smooya wants to fully commit to the push, though, which is understandable. But now Smooya had a chance for the pick. Dennis getting a little bit lucky there that he doesn't get taken down. The Molotov going up. It looks like EPSILON not going to commit just yet. 54 seconds. Now the nades come over the top. This might just be the A push.
Yeah, Nate was able to open that one up by taking down Cosme, and Dennis in a great position, drops the bomb, spots out the shoulder and the shadow of Smooya, and is going to be able to take him down. So Robin and T-Stack have to try and save this for EPSILON. Let's see if they're going to be able to do so. 40 seconds just about remaining, and now it's all down to the Swede, as he's the sole man standing for this terrorist side to try and save his teammates and keep them alive. As a reminder, this is an elimination match, so Sprout should be able to take this one. Damage being done, he will eventually be finished off, and it is going to be Sprout taking this series 2-0. I'll be a little bit closer on Cobblestone than was predicted on the analyst desk, but speaking of the analyst desk, let's throw it back over there now to discuss the game we did just see.
Sprout can definitely lose in best of one, but not when it comes